Maxie. Look, there they go. That's pretty. $2. And that other one may be tiny too. That one's a shooter, isn't it? Old 3-point special.
Illegal.
For Growling. Dave Growling. So I got permission on a property yesterday, on a private piece around close to my house. Super excited about it. There's a little bit of history of some good bucks around here. Doesn't look like much on the map, but basically it's a huge funnel, so I think it's going to be a great place to be sitting in the rut in between a couple of big blocks of timber. We're going to do a little scouting real quick. I hung a camera last night, and we'll see if anything's on there, and make our assumptions about where we're going to put the camera and where we're going to put the tree stands and where we're going to hunt this year, or at least early season, and we're going to roll out. Look at you, still regular old. The creek is super deep, and I hear it has water in it all the time. It looks really clear for creeks around here, and it's actually flowing a little bit, and we've been real dry, so I don't know if that means anything from a watering standpoint, but it's probably cool down in here because of it. Just ease of travel kind of right through here, you know. I mean, there's a big rub right up here. We'll take a look at it. There's 55 videos. So we walk the property, and there's a lot of deer sign, but there's not really a lot of rut sign. There's a pretty big rub right here at the camera location, but not a lot of rubs, not a lot of scrapes, but there's a prominent browse line across several parts of the property, and I think there's definitely a lot of deer in here, a lot of tracks and stuff. So we just decided to leave the camera here for a little while, see what's happening. We've got a couple of trails that we've seen on the onX map from an aerial view that are coming out of this creek system right here. So we might walk a couple of them real quick and just kind of leave it here, see what happens over the next couple of weeks. The good thing is, as opposed to public land, we don't have to walk a mile in to check this camera, so it's a pretty quick check that I can do. It's close to home, so it's a good deal for us.
So we just jumped a buck, and I hope I got decent enough footage of him to put on here, but he wasn't a giant buck by any means, but had a lot of tines and some potential for sure. Where we're at right here is really on the outside boundary of the property, and there's hardly any cover around except for this one little spot. It's hay pasture over here, cattle pasture over here, and this little finger of brush and a couple big trees comes out, and that's where we jumped him from. Came up in here looking around, and I found this little depression right here. Now, it's not a big heavy Midwestern bed with a 300-pound deer in it, but you can tell where a deer has pushed down the leaves right here and been bedded. Makes a lot of sense because you got cedars here behind you, some thick stuff, some sumac and whatnot there, and you can still see everything out this direction if you feel real safe. It's all open pasture back there, ain't nothing coming back behind him, so all he's worried about is what's coming from this creek bottom over here. There's browsed off little pieces of berry bush in here, and then behind it right here there's actually a rub on this, I call it a toothache tree. I don't know what the actual term is, but it's got stickers on it. So that means that at some point in time a hard-horned buck has used this bed. So that means it's not just summer bedding. It sets up great for summer bedding because there's still plenty of room for a breeze to move through here. It's probably pretty cool, but it's also going to be some sort of fall bedding as well. I don't know if we'll be able to use this to target a buck per se, but it's cool to know that they will use this spot for bedding, and maybe that'll at least give us some hints as to how the deer movement happens through here.